There are secrets that aren't hidden in old books or dusty scrolls locked away somewhere. Some secrets are inside your own body, and one of them is right at the center of your belly. That small circle of skin, barely noticeable when we look in the mirror, isn't just a random mark or a scar from birth. It's a leftover from something sacred. It's a doorway, an energy receiver, a forgotten threshold. In the past, many cultures understood that the navel was the first center of power. Through it, we receive life, but we can also lose it. The human body, designed wisely, keeps that opening as a reminder. Here, everything started. Here, your energy continues to flow. Most people don't realize that this point can also be a place where your vital energy leaks. It's as if you're leaving a crack open, where the purest part of you spills out. The tiredness that doesn't make sense. The lack of focus, feeling empty, or drained after certain moments might not come from the outside, but from this subtle energy leak in your center. Now, think about what would happen if you decided to close that point. What if you covered it? Not out of modesty, but for your own power. What if this simple act was the key to keeping your energy, boosting your intuition, and bringing back the inner spark you once had but feel is missing now? This video is an invitation to remember. To see your body not as just a collection of organs, but as a sacred map full of forgotten points and symbols. We'll dive into the ancient wisdom about the navel, its role in energy, and why so many cultures saw it as a spiritual center. I'll show you how to cover it with intention and purpose. Doing this can lead to big changes in your energy field, your focus, your dreams, and how you connect with people. Remember, the mystical isn't always in the complicated. Sometimes, the greatest awakenings come from small acts, a patch, a touch, an intention over your navel, and your energy starts to come back to you. Take a deep breath, focus on your center, and get ready to rediscover what's always been there, waiting for you to activate it. Long before modern medicine called it just an umbilical scar, the navel was seen as a symbol of origin, strength, and sacred connection. In many ancient cultures, it wasn't just a leftover from birth but the visible sign of an invisible link, an energy cord that never fully gets cut. Through it, a flow of subtle information and energy passes. In Vedic India, the navel was known as Navi, an important point in the subtle body. In the chakra system, it's near the third chakra, Manipura, which represents inner strength, willpower, and personal energy. But beyond the known chakras, some tantric teachings talked about a secret chakra, the lower Vindu, located right at the navel. It was believed that those who understood this point could find the balance between the physical and spiritual worlds because the navel is the balance between what nourishes us and what we give. In Chinese Taoism, the navel is closely linked to the lower dantian, the body's center of energy. Taoist masters knew this was where an invisible pot of internal alchemy was kept. It was common for practitioners of Qigong and Niden to focus energy or even apply pressure to the navel to keep the qi, the life energy, from spreading out too much. In Mesoamerican cultures, especially among the Mexicas and Mayans, the navel also symbolized cosmic centrality. The words Nahuatl and Gelotl, which mean heart or center, were connected to the solar plexus and the navel, as they saw it as the meeting point between the material world and the unseen world, just like the famous four-petaled flower symbol. This flower symbol, representing the center of the universe in Aztec codices, could be seen as reflecting the human navel, the center of the small world. Even in the more mystical parts of Judeo-Christian tradition, the human body was thought of as a temple. And if the heart was the altar, the navel was the entry point. The Song of Songs, a deeply symbolic text from the Old Testament, describes the navel as a round cup that is always full of wine, symbolizing the power that flows from within. Over time, these teachings were overlooked, hidden, or mocked by rational and materialistic perspectives. The body began to be seen as a machine, and the navel, just a forgotten button in the middle of the stomach. However, spiritual traditions understood something that science has yet to acknowledge, that small indentation is a sign of our connection to everything around us. It is an energy portal that, if left open and unprotected, can become a way for energy to leak out. Think about it for a second. The only point on your body that was literally your link to life before you started breathing on your own. Why would it lose its purpose once the umbilical cord is cut? What is physically severed still stays connected on a spiritual level. What we forget doesn't disappear. Nowadays, many people experience fatigue, mental confusion, and anxiety for no apparent reason. They look for reasons outside themselves, but they don't realize that energy loss also happens in subtle ways. An unprotected navel acts like an open door to everything around you. Every emotion, every look, every external energy that touches you could be entering or leaving through that point. This is why ancient cultures taught to cover, seal, or protect the navel, especially in rituals, public spaces, meditation, or while sleeping, not out of superstition, but out of deep energetic understanding. Now that you know this, what will you do with this portal? The navel, often overlooked, is a place where vital energy is gathered, focused, and projected. It's like an invisible keyhole. It has no eyelids to close it, and if we don't consciously seal it, it becomes an open valve. Information comes through it, but power also escapes. Imagine your body as a chalice, a sacred vessel holding the finest oil, your essence. If that chalice has a small crack in its base, no matter how much you fill it, it will never be full. The navel is that base, and the crack represents the lack of awareness of its role. Throughout the day, we meet many people, take in environments filled with noise, hurry, and others' intentions. All of this affects our energy field, but what few realize is that the navel acts as an energy center that absorbs and emits energy without any filter, particularly sensitive to strong emotions, unwanted gazes, and charged words. From this point of view, it's not about protecting yourself out of fear, but out of wisdom. Just like we close a door to keep the warmth inside during winter, sealing the navel helps conserve our internal energy, keeping our vital reserves from leaking out unnoticed. This is where an ancient practice comes in, passed down like a secret among healers, yogis, and guardians of hidden traditions. Covering the navel with a small disc, cloth, or even your finger during key moments. It's not superstition, it's spiritual science, it's body alchemy. This simple act triggers a chain reaction in your energy system. The body, noticing the seal, redirects its energy flow like a river that finds containment and deepens its course instead of spilling over. What once escaped now condenses. What was lost now refines. There's also a connection between the navel and the enteric nervous system, often referred to as the second brain, located in the abdomen. This system, tied to the solar plexus, is responsible not just for digestion but also for intuitive insights. Have you ever felt a void in your stomach about something your mind hadn't yet understood, or a sense of expansion in your belly during moments of gratitude or connection? When the navel is consciously sealed, the bioelectric field of the abdomen strengthens, along with emotional clarity, intuition, and energy available for action. It's like closing that door makes all the internal lights shine brighter. Some practitioners of tantric traditions believe the navel is a miniature reflection of the cosmos. They say it's a microchakra that links to higher realms through an invisible thread, a beam of light that still connects the soul to its origin. And each time we touch or cover it with intention, that thread is activated, as if we are dialing a secret number on a cosmic phone. What happens next? What happens is what many people describe, but can't explain, a feeling of presence, a calm inside, as if everything just fell into place. Others experience lucid dreams, sudden clarity, or a return to themselves after days of confusion. All of this starts with one simple action, paying attention to that forgotten spot that's always been there, waiting for you to remember it. When you decide to cover your navel with awareness, you're not just covering skin. You're activating an ancient process that transforms your inner self. It's as if you've unlocked a hidden door, and then you begin to hear what's always been there. The oldest spiritual teachings say that the human body is a living reflection of the universe, a perfect microcosm. In this sacred map, the navel is not just the body's center, but also its primary energetic anchor, the point through which life's energy flows. This is where your inner fire can be lit or extinguished. When this point is left unprotected, the external world can freely access your energy. It's like living with your front door left open. Any emotional energy, outside vibrations, or collective thoughts can slip through and disrupt your inner peace. The body then acts like a mistuned radio, picking up static, distortion, and spiritual noise. But when you begin to seal this center, whether with cloth, a small crystal, or even just pressing your hand over it during your practices, you are creating a sacred container, a chalice where your energy starts to gather. This action starts a series of adjustments in your energy system. First, your aura thickens and stabilizes. It's like closing the cracks where your energy was leaking. This stronger energy field protects your nervous system from outside disturbances and enhances your ability to focus, your intuition, and your personal magnetism. Next, the energy that once scattered outward begins to spiral upward along the spine. Instead of dissipating, it is channeled into what many traditions call the sacred oil, the dew of the soul, or even the milk of the gods. From an alchemical perspective, this rising fluid represents an inner nectar that flows when everything aligns. This upward movement activates important glands, the thymus, thyroid, and pineal glands. The pineal, known as the seat of the soul in many traditions, begins to receive clearer, purer signals. It's as if, by sealing the root, the soul's antenna can rise more clearly toward higher planes. And it's here that something extraordinary happens. Some people experience absolute clarity, internal visions, lucid dreams, or a profound sense of peace. This isn't fantasy. It's a shift in vibration, a reorientation of the internal axis of being. Additionally, this action impacts the emotional level, promoting self-restraint. You learn to hold your energy, not to give it away, not to drain it in relationships or situations that exist only out of habit. Your energy field becomes magnetic, not through force, but through authenticity. What once leaked out now transforms into presence. The sealed navel becomes a physical reminder of your sacred boundary, a silent signal that says, "This is where my temple begins, this is where my magic starts." Over time, this practice brings the body into a more harmonious resonance. You become more attuned to your needs and more selective about what you let in. It's like tuning an instrument that's been forgotten. When your body vibrates at its true frequency, reality responds. Knowing the navel is an energetic portal is not enough. The true power comes when you integrate it into your daily life with simple, consistent, conscious acts. Esoteric wisdom isn't meant to stay locked away in books or distant rituals, it's meant to light up your everyday existence. In this case, the first step is to see the navel not as just another part of your body, but as your sacred center. It is one. Seal your center every morning before stepping into the world. Just as you put on clothes to protect your body, cover your navel to protect your energy. You can use a small piece of fabric, hypoallergenic tape, or even a soft patch with an intention drawn on it, like a solar symbol, a spiral, or a flower of life. The key is the intention. As you do this, silently say, "With this seal, I preserve my energy. What I am belongs to me." This simple act in the morning will serve as an invisible shield in dense environments, crowded spaces, or interactions where you typically feel drained. 2. Practice manual connection for a few minutes each day, especially during stressful times or before sleep. Place your palm over your navel and breathe deeply. Imagine golden light coming from your hand, entering your navel, and expanding inward. This practice not only calms your nervous system, but it also reconnects you with your center. It's a simple act that acts as an anchor. When everything around you feels chaotic, return to this spot. 3. Try using oils or energetic balms. Some traditions use essential oils like frankincense, myrrh, palo santo, or lavender, applying a drop to the navel. These oils act as cellular memory activators, as the navel, being an ancient source of nourishment, responds well to subtle substances. Try this before spiritual practices, meditation, or whenever you need to regain your inner strength. 4. Observe your emotions when sealing it. Many people report significant emotional changes when they start this practice. Don't be surprised if, by covering the navel, you feel more clarity, strength, or even old emotions coming up to the surface. The seal not only preserves energy, it also prevents old emotional patterns from entering like they used to. It's an exercise in inner sovereignty. 5. Share this practice with others respectfully. If you notice real changes in your energy, focus, or emotional state after practicing for a few days, don't hesitate to share it. But share by example, not by force. Magic can't be forced, it spreads through authenticity. When others ask why you seem more centered, more peaceful, or more vibrant, that will be the perfect moment to explain that it all began by covering something as simple as the navel. These practices don't require blind faith or grand ceremonies, they only need presence, coherence, and consistency. The body responds when we pay attention to it, and your energy, like a smart river, flows better when it knows its path is protected. In a world that constantly pulls us toward the outside, screens, noise, rush, stimuli, talking about the navel as a source of power might seem like a strange idea at first. But when you look deeper, you realize that it's not just a physical point, but a symbol of returning to yourself, to the core from which your life began. The navel is the physical mark of your first connection with existence. Before you took your first breath, before you saw the world, you were sustained by an invisible cord that provided everything you needed. That cord was cut when you were born, yes, but its energetic imprint remains. Like all portals, it's still there, waiting for you to acknowledge it. Covering it, sealing it, activating it is not superstition, it's a subtle declaration of spiritual sovereignty. It's telling the universe, I recognize my center, I gather my energy, I reclaim my power. And when you do this, not only do you transform yourself, but the world around you also changes because your vibration changes. Perhaps you felt more than once that something is slipping away from you, that you're feeling drained, and by the end of the day, you're empty for no clear reason. Maybe it's not physical tiredness, but an invisible energy leak, a loss happening quietly from a place you never considered. Now you understand. Now you can seal that leak, close that threshold, and turn it into a sacred space. Because the navel isn't just a scar, it's a dormant seal of forgotten magic. When you honor it, protect it, and listen to it, something in you will remember. It remembers your power, your connection to everything, and that you were born whole, with a sacred map inscribed in your body. Today, I invite you to stop searching outside for what already exists within. Experience this practice with an open mind and a willing heart. You don't need to change everything at once. Simply give attention to that small center each day for a few minutes and watch as everything begins to transform, as if a secret will starts turning. Remember, the most powerful portals open inward, not outward, and your navel is one of them. If this knowledge resonated with you, if you felt a part of you awaken or remember something ancient, I invite you to go deeper. Subscribe to the channel, activate the bell so you don't miss the upcoming revelations, and share this video with those who are ready to remember who they truly are. Like it if this wisdom touched you, and let me know in the comments, have you ever felt energy in your navel? Are you ready to seal your center and let your magic emerge? See you on the next journey, where the invisible becomes visible.